Yeah, if you read the title, I'm not lying. Now, I've come here to address something that a lot of people are addressing, but I also want to address it because at the time when Battlegrounds came out, it seriously amused me. Like, it was something so different from the rest of Roblox at the time. All the moves were completely skill-based, right? All of the movesets were completely skill-based, and you did not get to pay to win in that game, which is great, because you damn know as soon as a game has mini transactions, that game is fried. Now, what I'm here to talk about today is what I think is the beginning of the end for Battlegrounds games. What do I mean by this? Well, let's take TSB for an example. This game hasn't gotten an update in like 6 months. Point is, the game is practically on life support. Now, don't get me wrong, it has great animations, and the combat is super smooth. In fact, this is like the only game that I feel like I can actually tolerate the combat on a grand level. I mean, it's so smooth compared to most Battlegrounds games that I've played. I personally think the strongest Battlegrounds combat is the best combat I think I've ever tried out on Roblox. Now, some are obviously going to disagree. Some may say Jujutsu Shenanigans has the best combat. Some might say that Heroes Battlegrounds has the best combat. But I personally think TSB has the best combat. Now, let's jump a little more into why Battleground games are dying. The main thing is, the absolute pioneer, the warrior of Battlegrounds games, the one that pioneered Battleground games as a whole on Roblox, the strongest Battlegrounds. To be honest, I think Battlegrounds are at their lowest right now. But TSB is at a whole new low. I mean, this game is practically being starved of content and updates. Absolutely, like, nothing to make videos about anymore. I mean, listen, I know, like, anybody who plays TSB and watched any TSB videos would know about, like, the toxic teamers videos. Most of them are, like, staged or whatever. But, like, other than that, to be honest, I can't really think of much else to really make content about TSB, right? And those videos get very repetitive. In fact, those videos are about as repetitive as the taste of M&Ms. Now, the repetitive content isn't only for the strongest Battlegrounds. This goes for a lot of other Battleground games as well. Now that we've finished covering the topic as to really why the strongest Battlegrounds is falling apart, how about we take Battleground games in general? In general, there's not really that big of an explanation as to why Battleground games are dying. There are 3 key factors as to why Battleground games on Roblox are dying. All of them. Number 1, the player base. Why? Well, I think if we've ever played a Battleground game, we've at least encountered one toxic player. That one player that has to go out of his way, out of his regular schedule, just to induce that tiny little bit of rage into you. Now, why do they do this? To be honest, the reasons probably vary, but most likely just so they can get a reaction out of you. Also, they might literally not have anything better to do, so that's most likely why. Number 2, the update schedule. I think the worst one we got on this is the strongest Battlegrounds, but there are some other Battleground games out there that have horrible update schedules. But I think in horrible update schedules, I think the strongest Battleground has to take the crown. I mean, dude, last update, when we were waiting for the KJ update, after it came out, the owner promised that we would go back to weekly updates. It's been 6 months. Where is Child Emperor's Awakening? And the finale. And the one that I think is probably the most important one and the one that has the most potent venom. Because what I'm about to mention, I think all of you, or maybe most of you, or some of you, or none of you, I don't know. might be able to relate to. I think it's really the fact that Battleground games are just becoming kind of old and boring, to be honest with you. I mean, being thrown into constant fight, having to deal with the toxic players, every Battleground game is just a reskinned version of the last. I mean, there's not too much variation between them. Maybe a few once in a while cool moves or different mechanics, but most of the time they'll just copy each other's mechanics if it's unique. Let's be real here. Now, me being a very old Battlegrounds game player, I started playing TSB back when Sonic was early access. The constant thrill of the fight has been keeping me fueled for a very long time because the updates are pretty cool. The unique play styles that every player has was very entertaining. And sometimes seeing like little kids get very mad at me and other people for just simply being better at them at the game was very funny. But over the time, it just doesn't hit the same after a really long time of playing Battleground games. And those are the three main factors as to why Battleground games are struggling to stay relevant. Alright, class, I hope you took your notes. And remember, if any of your friends wants you to play a Battleground game and you really don't feel like it, please take a screenshot and show them these notes. They'll most likely don't care, but at least you have a reason. Alright, class, you are dismissed. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.